unbelievable. You ever see a performance that's just so amazing and you're just blown away? That's what Sasaki did today, the Paris Grand Slam. If you are in the know, if you follow the Japanese scene and the tournaments they hold in Japan, you know Sasaki is something special, and he's just being kind of held back for some reason from the international scene. But he got his opportunity, and it was such a spectacular performance. I'm going to show almost all the fights in their entire length, because it was just so exciting from start to finish. I mean, look at this pickup. Doesn't get a score, but then he's aggressive, constantly looking for newaza, transitions, big thrower. He's the complete judoka. He's similar to Ono Shohei in that he's got the physical aggressiveness and strength, as well as the insane technique and know-how on the ground. He's a newaza assassin. You will see him demolish Cass on the ground in a few rounds coming up, but just what he did at the Paris Grand Slam was nothing but remarkable. So here he is defending well, looking for a pickup again from the belt. How many Japanese judoka do you see do this, you know? So he's really showing what Japanese judo can be like when you get really strong. It's quite a scary thought. And look at this, just manhandling him. He's not worried about that big hand over the back. He's short for the division, and in the past that's kind of been his downfall, but he's a really smart guy. He works hard on his tactics, his transitions, and I think when he had those losses in 2019, he was like, well, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna get better at this game. I'm gonna play it how I want to play it, and I'm gonna attack and get Ippons and make it look amazing. So here he is again on the ground looking for something. Doesn't quite get it, but each of these matches, here we're against the Spaniard in round 2, but each of these matches only lasting a couple of minutes. He's so aggressive, and I think the recent rule changes where they look at newaza more is really going to help him a lot. And look at the strength. The Spaniard knows what to do. He knows how to get out of this, but Sasaki just showing great strength to hold him down, and just knows exactly what to do on the ground. Sorry, I forgot his name. Urquiza from Spain. I'm sorry if I cannot pronounce your name. So in the next round, he faces Cass, and if you know, nobody goes on the ground with Cass. Cass is, I think he does BJJ. He's one of the only players who will pull guard. But Sasaki is like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. And immediately into some sort of roll. I mean, my newaza is not this good. I don't know what these guys are doing. But he manages to get a knee slice happening. But Cass defends that well. And so he turns into the other direction, goes over the side, and then looks for the mounted position. Looks to get his knee out that way. Almost gets it out. Cass is doing really well here to defend, but Sasaki, look at that. He goes into mount and then immediately escapes Cass's defense of it and goes into a tate shiho, yoko shiho. He's amazing. This is amazing. This is probably the most amazing newaza I've seen in judo ever. You have a lot of people who are dominant, but when you have two people who are equally really highly skilled in newaza, and that happens, that was the greatest moment of the tournament for me. Oh, maybe not. The final's pretty good as well. The final's pretty good against Grigolashvili. And this against the Mongolian. I don't know what the Mongolian was thinking here. He just demolished Cass on the ground, and you're gonna try and do some newaza on him? I don't know what he's thinking, but this next exchange coming up, Sasaki, he's been in this bad position before, where he goes in for a seoi nage, kind of stays down on the ground, and because he's short, people have countered him with Uchimata before, but in this instance, he kind of knew what to do. I'm not sure if he was baiting him. I'm not sure if he was trying to get him to do Uchimata by staying down on the ground like this. Look at this. So he goes in, and then he just stays on his knees, defending. He stays down here. Okay, here's the Uchimata. We know what the Mongolian's doing. He's looking for it. He's looking for it. And then Sasaki with the insane Uchimata Skashi. That's unbelievable. You gotta be so flexible to do that. As a shorter guy to do that, that's insane. That's insane. And then straight into a really, really nice hold down. Perfect. And then in the final, I mean, Grigolashvili, if you've been listening to my videos, I love the guy. I think he's going to be world champion or Olympic champion at some point. He's got some really, really amazing technical judo. He's got a great sense for just how people move. And then Sasaki, it was just incredible. It was just incredible that two wazaris, and they were both like, you know, look at the forward pressure. You know, he's strong. Grigolashvili tries a bit of newaza. I'm going to counter that. Knee pass. No, you're not going to get me on the ground. Now what are you going to do? I've got the forward pressure. I've got the grips. What are you going to do, Grigolashvili? It's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm not quite sure what to call this technique. It looks like Kankoku Zeoi. But, oh sorry, a Korean Seoi Nagi for those who don't know the Japanese, but he kind of rotates them funny. It's kind of a weird rotation. I'm not sure you know, how he did it, how he got Grigolashvili rotating in that way. Look, here's the and he was over the leg as well. It's kind of odd, but I mean, I guess it's a Korean Seoi Nage. So for a wazari there, could have maybe been Ippon. But I'm happy with the wazari. We get to see a little bit more. And Grigolashvili, he's under the pump now. And of course, I mean, he was under the pump earlier on and showed his championship qualities and got the win. But Sasaki, he wasn't going to hold on to a wazari and burn the clock down for 3 minutes and be really boring. He does this. Look at that. Come on. So it's like a Uchimata, but he turns it into a makikomi. He gets his arm. I guess Grigolashvili escapes the top grip, and then his arm ends up going over his shoulder, ends up turning it into a makikomi. But if you've seen Sasaki's Uchimata from some of the national tournaments in Japan, you know he's got a really good Uchimata. What a legend. So, I'm excited. I think he's probably gonna be the 81 kg selection for the next Olympics. I don't know if Nagase is gonna go for Paris. I have a feeling he might retire or just fall off in ability a little bit. But Sasaki, 25 years old, Paris is coming up soon, and he's looking this good. Come on, everyone's got to be afraid of this guy.
The highlights of this final.
You know how there's always someone that you're just afraid to fight in the dojo just because they're so like scary and dominating and aggressive? Look at this. Every time they get their hands on you, they're just going to throw you through the floor. Yeah, so really weird here what he does with the legs. But he just manages to lock up that arm and just rotate in the right direction. Jumping on the newaza immediately. Oh, he's so good. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of Sasaki in the comments. And I'll see you guys soon for some more judo.